In this video, I'm going to review 5 apps that I picked from all of the apps that you guys submitted to me last week. You submitted 150 apps to me and I narrowed it down to 5 that I want to review in this video. So the criteria that I'm going to be looking at is configuration changes. So do they maintain their state upon configuration change? Process death, do they maintain their state on process death? Backstack, and then any kind of improvements or bugs that I kind of point out. And I'm also going to be just kind of talking about what I think of them, like personally, totally subjectively, what do I think of these apps? Before I review them, I just want to say, don't feel like if I didn't review your app, it wasn't any good. It was a very subjective process, the process of me picking these apps. So, don't worry about it, and ask me in the comments below if you wanted me to do more of these, because this is the first video that I'm making about this. So if you guys want to see me review more apps, if you want to see me even do code reviews, yeah, more app reviews, code reviews. Also, let me know your feedback of this, like if you want me to review them in more detail, less detail. I'm really open to taking this whatever direction people want me to take it in. So again, make sure to leave a comment if you have any suggestions about this video. I really, really want to hear them. So now let's look at the apps. So I'm not going to put these in any particular order. These are just kind of it's pretty much a random order. The only thing I will say is that the first one I'm going to review is my personal favorite. This one, you'll see why it's my favorite when we go through it. But I practically actually used this app, and I thought it was great. So that's the one that I want to review first. So let's take a look at my screen here. This is the app on the Google Play Store. It's called Meme, so MEAM, the Meme Maker. And this is actually made by a guy on Instagram. You might know him. So if I go to Instagram.com and we search for Red Coders, so Red Coders, this is the guy who made the app, and it's actually a React Native app. It's not a Kotlin or Java app. He made it with React Native, but he's currently in the process of rebuilding it with Kotlin. So I asked him to send me the code when he's done, so he will likely be sending that to me, and maybe I can review it on video. So hopefully we get to do that. So the Meme Maker. So why is this my favorite app? Well, first I'm going to open it up on the computer here so you can actually see it. So let me just open it up. This is my phone OnePlus 5 that's running here, and it's running the app. So this is the page. I'll actually get rid of Google Play here now because you see kind of where to find that. All right, so what does this do? Well, it helps you make memes. And if you go to my Instagram page, which I will actually open up for you here, let me just scroll over to my Instagram. If you look at the last couple posts that I've posted on my Instagram, so these 4 posts right here, I actually made them with that app, with the Meme Maker. So this one right here, this one right here, this one, and then the last one right here. So these I actually did make with the app. So that's what I meant by I really personally like this app because I practically used it and it worked really well. So now we're going to talk about the app itself and its functionality and how it actually operates from a technical standpoint. So I would say definitely this app is not polished. There's a lot of kind of weird not really weird, but it's not super intuitive right away when you use it, and it definitely has problems. And it's also ugly. I think it's very ugly. It's ugly. It's not super intuitive. Yeah, I guess that's what I would say. Overall, like the overall general look of it when I first look at it and I first used it was, ooh, I don't like this. That's my feeling. But again, hold on. This is the bad stuff. We're gonna get to the good stuff. So now the good stuff about this. It works really well. Like I told you, I practically actually used this and I found it really useful. Once you kind of got the hang of it, once I realized how this thing works, then it was actually super useful. It's got a ton of memes here. It pulls them all from Reddit, I believe. I think anyway, I'm not really sure because he didn't give me the code, so I don't know where this is coming from. But it works great. That's the most important thing. Does this well? I guess the user experience is also important, but that comes along with does it work great. So overall, like I don't like the way it looks. It was kind of weird to start using it at first, but it works really well. So like I said, this is my favorite app out of everyone that I saw. So great app. Now let's go through the criteria of that I just talked about. So the configuration changes, process death, backstack, and then we'll talk about ways that I think that this app can be improved. So first of all, configuration changes. Well, this app is immune to configuration changes. He must have a flag in the manifest. Well, he used React Native, so however you do it in React Native. But if I rotate this, you can see that the screen doesn't rotate. So he's disabled screen rotations, which is kind of a cheap thing to do because a lot of issues come with screen rotations. So for you to just disable them is kind of like, it's like a hack. You can say, I'm going to avoid all these problems and just disable configuration changes. So it's basically not applicable to this app. So next is process death. So it does fail the process death check. So in the original video, I actually went about the process of checking process death. So I used ADB to kill the process manually. Then I restarted it and I made sure that the process ID was different. And I actually did the check like really rigorously. But this isn't, I don't want this to be like a technical video. So I decided to cut that out, and you can just take my word for it. I tested this for process death and it failed. So let me know in the comments below if you want me to show you how to test apps for process death, especially ones that you don't have on your computer. So like you can literally download an app from the App Store, you can plug in your phone, download the app, and you can test it for process death. So if you want to see that, let me know in the comments below, and I'd be happy to show you guys. It would only take, a 2-minute video. So let me know. Now let's get back to the review. So next is the backstack. So this, I wrote here that it also fails the backstack test. So you can see that this, like I said, this app is not polished. It just kind of shortcuts configuration changes. It fails process death. The backstack also fails, which I will show you. So first I'm going to get out of ADB. So in my notes here, it says that it fails the backstack test. The tabs do not maintain their own backstack. So you can see that there's 3 tabs at the top. You have default, Reddit, and favorites. So what that means is if I click here and I click here, and if I click back, the app closes. So normally what you want to do typically is like, this would maintain its own backstack, this would maintain its own backstack, that would too. So if I went there, I expect to be able to press back at least 2 times before the app closes. It would go to Reddit and then it would go to default. Also, if I was to click on a meme in here, you see that it takes away the tabs, right? There's no way to like maintain a backstack inside of here, even if I wanted to, the way the app is designed. So I would say that that is an app failure. So overall, like configuration changes, process death, backstack, all just not polished overall. But again, I would say I still like this app. It is still my favorite app, even though it fails all of those tests. So now let's make a meme. Let's make a meme. So let's do an example. Let's click on one of these memes. Here we go. I now have access to this. I can click on here and drag this around. So one of my biggest issues with this actually is that you can't shrink this. So if I pinch, I cannot shrink this kind of featured image. I wish that you could do that, but you can't. It's still like technically you could work around this because, well, you could insert something. So if actually, you know what I could do? If I save this and then inserted it, then I could. I'll show you what I mean. So if I go to stickers, I just clicked on stickers and I click on any one of these pictures here. Let's just crop it. This one I can shrink. So if I was to like save the original, insert it as a sticker, I would be able to shrink it. And then maybe just use like a white, I don't know if you could use a white background. So that's, you can work around it, but again, it comes back to the kind of the theme of this app, that it's just not polished. Like you can pretty much get done everything that you want to do, but it's not polished. So I'm going to leave this kind of sticker over here, and I'm going to write some text on here. Just say, I don't know. So some random text goes here. So this is how you add text to your memes. And I can't shrink this with my fingers, like I can't pinch it or shrink it. It kind of just goes like this, and you have to resize the text box by clicking up here in the slider. So if I drag the width over, you can see that now I can kind of determine what this text is going to look like more. And this is not easy to do, by the way. You can see I'm messing up a lot. Again, it comes back to that this app is really not polished. Like the overall user experience is not good, but the functionality is like awesome because it achieves something that I really want to do. And if you want to add more text, you can just click another A up here, and then you have some more text. You can change the formatting of the text by clicking on the A up here. You can change the text size. You can change the color. So this took us a while for me to figure out, by the way, to get white. To get white, you drag this one all the way over because you notice that it's not actually on here. Also, if I click on these colors, it doesn't actually change the color in the middle. So another kind of not polished feature, I guess. Then when you want the color, you just kind of click the middle. So clicking done, notice I didn't change the color. Or I can change it to white. So I'll drag this on here and I'll change this to white. So if I drag that all the way over, click in the center, click done. There you go, my text goes white. So now what do I want to do if I actually want to save this meme? Well, I would go to done, and then I can crop this. So I would just crop it, like to here probably, bring this up to here, and then click the check mark, and then it says file saved. So this is another kind of weird thing about it too. I wish there was like a a section in the app where I could see all of the memes that I made. Like if I can see that it just said saved, but now if I click the back button, I go exit without saving. What? But I just saved. So like, another like really confusing thing. So what you actually want to do here is click yes, because it did save. So if I go into my phone's memory, so if I go into File Manager, go into Images, there's the meme right there. It did actually get saved to my phone. So another way that could have been improved is kind of like a section in the app where it would show you which apps you've made, and that doesn't exist. The only thing here is like custom templates, where you can click this button down here and add like a picture, which would be considered a custom template, but it's not like it's the memes that you make don't get saved by default. So definitely could be improved there. All right, so that's going to be it for the review for this app. Again, this one was my favorite, but some real polish work could be done to improve this one. Now, before we look at the other ones, I want to say that I know this took a long time. I'm guessing this video probably is like 10, 12 minutes long already. For all the remaining apps, I'm just going to tell you whether they passed or failed, and then we're going to go through it quickly. So this is going to be a much faster process. So the next one here is InstaResume. So let's open it up on the App Store here. So this is an app that allows you to create a resume and then print it out. This is an app that is a really cool tool because everybody needs to make resumes. And I didn't actually print out the resume itself, but from what I saw, it worked quite well. Like if it works like it says it does, because I don't have a printer here at my office, it's definitely an effective app. So let's open the app up and let's take a look at it here. So I'll minimize this. And I don't need ADB anymore because we're not going to do any process testing. So when you first open it, it's almost like the app is in beta, because if I click on a lot of these templates, it says coming soon. But the one that does work is this one on the top left here. So if I click that, it says here's a template. I can click add details. And now I have a list of kind of categories that it will use to fill out the resume. So personal information. You can see that I already, so it must save this as shared preferences. I don't have access to the code, but I filled this out before. It must be shared preferences. It could be SQLite, I guess, too. And then interests, you can see that I would just add some interests, skills, education, experience, projects, certificates. Once you fill all of these categories out, you click on the next arrow here, and then you can print it out. So I think this is a great app. I'm surprised, I'm surprised there aren't more apps like this. I didn't really do a lot of research on the App Store, but this is a really cool, practical app that it was very easy to use. I just filled out some categories. And then if that template looks as good as it looks like it does here in the picture, that's going to be pretty cool. Then I have some other features down here. It says under development and under development. So I would say this app is mostly in beta, but the concept is really good. So I hope this guy continues with development. So as for the tests, configuration changes, he's disabled them, so I can't rotate it. You can see, it does rotate. When I was testing, I thought it didn't. Let me go here. So it does. Okay, so that's fine. So it does fail rotation test though. So here you can see if I go to add details, I click on one of these categories, I rotate the screen, notice that the app is restarted. So it fails that test. So basically this app fails every test. It fails configuration changes, it fails process death. There's not really any backstack to test because these sections are under development. So technically it doesn't fail the backstack test, but every other test it fails. So great idea. Needs work. That's what I would say about this app. All right, next app. This is Portfolio. So this is actually not a real app, so to speak, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's bring this app open here. So what this guy did is he built an app and he actually gives you the code too. So I looked at his code. I'm not going to do a code review right now, by the way, but it looked good. He used a lot of really new stuff. So the purpose of this is to showcase all of the new Android stuff and basically use this as a resume. So it's an app that uses a bunch of features, like a navigation drawer, fragments. You can see it has a nice collapsing toolbar there with an animation. And he's just kind of showcasing his skills. If you go to the next part, you can see he's using a recycler view here. It looks really nice. If you click on these, it shows some of the apps that he's worked on. So this is literally a portfolio. You can see there's Portfolio App 1.0. Read key ideas. It's talking about himself. This is basically a resume or a portfolio, but it's in the form of an application. I should have said that at the beginning because that I kind of have been not accurately describing this, I don't think. So if you go over to the experience section, you can see this is all of his experience coming down to his very first job as an intern, test engineer, team lead, founder, team lead, Android developer, and you can see where he worked, all that stuff. If you click on it, you can get more information about that. So overall, I think this is a very cool idea. I think anybody who's looking for a job and doesn't have any apps on the App Store, do this. Just build basically a resume in the form of an app. I think this is really cool. And of course, it's all on GitHub, so the employer can also look at the code on GitHub. So really cool idea. I really like this. Alex, the guy who made this, I hope you're watching this. I love this app. I think it's really cool. And also as a side note right now, if anybody wants me to do code reviews, let me know in the comments below, because a lot of these people submitted code on Git. So I would definitely be into reviewing code. So I want to know if people are interested. So leave a comment below. All right. So configuration changes, says none applicable, but maybe I forgot to, yeah, none applicable. So he's disabled configuration changes. You can see that if I rotate that, oh, weird. So it works in some parts, but it doesn't work in others. So I would say, okay, so I didn't really test that, but there's not, so if I rotate that, it looks good. Like it seems like it maintains the state and everything. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one because I forgot to test it, but it looks like that the configuration changes are good. Process death looks like it fails. So that means if I was to click on one of these, kill the process, the app is not brought back to the initial state. Anyone who's wondering what I'm talking about by process death, I showed you process death in the very first app that I reviewed in this video. Also, I have a video on my YouTube channel called process death. So just look it up and it'll talk about what I'm talking about there. Backstack says none applicable. He did this is every time you click on a different entry on the bottom nav, it actually resets the backstack. So just pay attention to what I do here. So I'm on the profile, I go to portfolio, I go to experience, I go to settings. Now, if I press the back button, it takes me all the way back to profile. If I press it again, it closes it. So this is, I wouldn't say he failed here, but I don't like this. In an app like this, when you keep the bottom nav down below, I would prefer that each entry on the bottom nav maintains its own backstack. So that way, like whoops, I didn't mean to email him. So like in the Powerful Android Apps course, each entry on the bottom navigation, if I was to click on here, go somewhere and then go to like a different fragment, click on here, go to here, all of these maintain a different backstack. So if I click back, it would go through the bottom nav entries and through the fragments within those entries. So I think that's a much better way to do that. That's kind of the only thing I would say about this for improving Alex. Otherwise, I think this is a really cool idea. The next app here I have on my list is called AllDrive. So I don't have WhatsApp, but from what I can tell, this is a really great app. You can see it has 836 5-star and has an average rating of 5 stars almost. Lots of comments, lots of reviews, and people like this app. I didn't really play around with it because I don't have WhatsApp, and you basically need WhatsApp to really take advantage of this. But as far as I know, it saves like your statuses, it saves like images, conversations, videos, everything you would have in WhatsApp, and it organizes it for you. So I encourage you to check out this app. I'm not going to review it because I don't use WhatsApp, so it's basically impossible for me to review it unless I used WhatsApp for like a week or a month, and I'm not going to do that. So if you want to check it out, check it out. I wanted to just mention this one. All right, next is it's a character finder for Star Wars. So this app is obviously just kind of it's a whatever app. It's not like it's not going to be a super popular tool. Like a lot of people aren't going to download this. But the thing I liked about this is he gave me the code, and the code was really awesome. So again, this is kind of like another portfolio kind of app. So I'll open it up for you. It's not an actual portfolio, but it is. This is an example of something you can do to put something on your resume, and because you can showcase that all the new stuff, live data, all the stuff kind of in Jetpack architecture components, and you can build an app that has a function and just show that you know how to handle these things like backstacks, process death, configuration changes, all of these kind of things, and make sure that make sure you don't have memory leaks, and make sure that it works correctly. So let's just use the app. Let's search for Luke. So I expect to see like Luke Skywalker pop up. Looks like the app is quite slow. I wonder if it's something on my end. Okay, so it does pop up. I'm not sure why the app was so slow there, but anyway, I click on Luke Skywalker, and then it gives me a bunch of information about Luke Skywalker. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can't remember if he uses Firebase or if he uses his own server, because if he uses his own server, maybe it's far away and it's got some kind of latency issue. But anyway, so you can see that it does work as expected. If I go back and I click on it again, you can see that it's loading. It has separate progress bars. So if you look at the code, you can see that he makes separate requests. So it's requesting different information, Luke Skywalker information, different movies, and then it lists the movies down here in a recycler view. So let's talk about my criteria. So does this pass or fail all the tests? So configuration changed. I wrote, okay, so if I was to rotate this, it looks like it makes the query again. So if you scroll up to the top, you can see the progress bar is going. It does show the original information, but it makes the query again. So that's a problem. What you should be doing here is you should be saving it to the saved instance state and checking the saved instance state after the rotation. That way you can decide, should I look at the previous live data value or should I make this query? So that's the kind of thing that you need to do there so that it doesn't, because there's no reason why when I rotate it should remake the query. Since you're using live data, I've looked at the code. I know you're using live data. That should just be observed. It's already in the view model. So there's no reason to make that query. Next is process death. Looks like it does fail. I tested it in this fragment right here and it fails. Obviously also too, if it's remaking the query, it's not going to be handling process death properly because that implies that you're not using the saved instance state. So 2 failures right away, but I still think this is a good app. Like I think it showcases a lot of really cool stuff, especially because I've looked at the code and it's a good way to put something on your resume. I have here the backstack is good, but that's because it's very simple. It's kind of linear. Like there's only one way to go in the app, so of course the backstack is going to be easy to handle. So in summary, my favorite app overall was one that probably arguably functioned the worst. That was the meme maker. So if we go here, the meme maker, this was arguably the worst one in terms of like user experience and like just bugs or not bugs, but just like it was weird. It was like not intuitive, but overall it's my favorite because if you do figure out how to use it, it's awesome. Like it works really well. And I've used it personally for my Instagram and there's a lot of really great memes in there. So thumbs up to the guy who made it. Again, his name is Red Coders on Instagram and he's currently remaking the app. So hopefully the next version will be more polished. The other apps are pretty much all around creating a resume. So we have InstaResume, which creates a resume for a printout. Again, this one needs to be polished. The portfolio app, I think this was a great idea by this guy, Alex, to make an app that's basically a resume. So if you're at a job or you're looking for a job, you can put a link to the Play Store and here you go. Here's everything about me and it's in the form of an app. So that's a cool idea. That's a really cool idea. I never thought of that before. File Manager, that gets honorable mention just because it has so many ratings, so many comments. I don't have WhatsApp, but if you do, you should check that out. And then we have the Star Wars Character Finder. This again around resumes. This is that resume kind of topic. This is a good idea too. Just find something that it doesn't have to be like a super useful app that you think you're going to get thousands of downloads on. Just something that you can show employers that you built. You can show them the code and show them that it works. These things are good to have on your resume. So that's going to be it for this video. Let me know if you liked it because I got a ton of apps, like I told you at the beginning. I got like 150 apps submitted. So if you guys want to see more of this, also if you want to see code reviews, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of these reviews, if you want to see more detailed, less detailed, overall just tell me what you liked about it, what you think I should have done, what you think I shouldn't have done. Let me know if you want to see code reviews, like I said, and I'm pretty much open to doing whatever for these videos. I went pretty detailed, I think, in this. I could go less detailed and do more apps. I could do more detailed and do less apps. I could do code reviews. I could do whatever. So just let me know. Go in the comments below and let me know. And leave a like. Don't forget to leave a like so that other people see this video. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.